This is an earth energy, earth and fire energy. So you need to ground yourself in believing that you are deserving of good things because you have a legacy of light. You have a—
Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Smith-Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Hi Capricorn, I'm Kristen and I'm a healer. In this video, you are going to get a full rundown of Capricorn's energy for the month of May and how it pertains to you and your career. I begin with the astrology and I end with the card reading. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and would like to become a client of mine, you can do so by joining this link here and also in the bio. I welcome you. And if you would like to see what my clients in my client circle have been saying about me so far, you can also find that link here as well. And as you all know, I am a global citizen, and so if you have not already, please let me know where you're listening from in the comments. We can all connect and be a strong collective. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. Hi Capricorn, so here we are in the month of May, for the remainder of May and how it is affecting your practical matters. When we looked at the month of April, one of the biggest and most important changes that we saw during that time was the fact that you were getting a boost of energy, a renewal in self, Capricorn. You from this feeling of lethargy, fogginess, confusion, came this burst of light, this renewal in this way of believing that you could feel that passion again, that ambition again. And that found you during Aries season when we stepped into the end of April. When we stepped into the beginning of April, and then it deepened when we were in Taurus energy. What I love about May, Capricorn, is May reminds you that you can heal. You can heal your relationship to your practical matters. There is this extension of this renewable energy happening in May. It's a belief. It is an understanding. You know, where the fourth house is cleaning out any kind of doubts, fears, perceptions that have gotten in your way, you are finding the solutions on the other side, and it's forcing you to pioneer on the other side. When we talk about the fourth house, we don't always associate it with career, with career matters and practical matters, because career and practical matters we usually associate with its opposite, which is the 10th house, which is you, Capricorn. The ruler of the 10th house is Capricorn. But when we see Cancer is the ruler of the fourth house, and our minds don't generally think to Cancerian energy, but one of the most powerful things about Cancerian energy is when it puts let's say its claws into the ground when it comes to practical and career matters. Cancer does it in a way that is very beautiful, Capricorn. Cancer reminds us about how to feel good about what we do, how to feel connected to what we do, how to feel passionate about what it is that we do. Cancer reminds us to value the things that happen inside of us, to have work-life balance, to make sure that we feel not only connected to our work, but also that we are aligning our deepest desires with what it is that we do on the external. So that's the thing about Cancerian energy. So Aries is awakening you when it comes to your fourth house, and when it connects to your career in specific, it is a lot of the ways in which your subconscious beliefs have caused blockages in your career and finances, where you feel like you might have scarcity mindset, a lack of a sense of abundance, where you're not making as much as you should be. And also it heightens a focus on how you need to make as much as you can aligned with where your stabilities are. So we're seeing this very grounded, very real perspective on, I want to have this home, I want to have this office, I want to open this business. And these are the groundwork things that I need to do in order to make this happen. I want to have this kind of work environment. And these are the practical things that I need to put in order to make this happen. This can see you leaving a job, finally saying goodbye, and pioneering to another side. For in the beginning of May, a lot of you could have found yourselves getting happy surprises, or again, throughout May, happy surprises tied to your career. So it could be getting the job that you did not expect. It could be getting the call that you did not expect, getting an increase in clients as long as you put the work in, as long as you put in the groundwork. Because remember, Jupiter is still in Gemini, and Gemini still wants you to work. It still wants you to focus on the little details before it puts itself out of, let's say, misery, before it transitions into Cancer, which is going to be your 7th house activation in June, which I like that energy. I like when Jupiter is going to be entering your 7th house, because it's less about all of this hard work, little detail Virgo energy, and it's going to feel much more relaxed, because it's more about who you're working with. A lot more luck just tied to who you're signing contracts with, who you're shaking hands with, and things being able to progress in that way, which is going to be nice. But while we're still at the tail end of this, you're getting all these last lessons tied to Jupiter expanding itself in Gemini. And so again, the divine is asking you to put in the work to then see the return on your comfort levels, on the things that make you feel more stable. And Cancer is also known for being one of, again, career success as well, but it's the career success that is more about expanding the internal comfort, the things that make the emotional body feel more at ease. And this is the way in which you're pioneering. So leaving that job, like I said, aligning with one that feels better, putting in the work. For a lot of you, you will be starting businesses, kind of saying to yourself, this is what it is that I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to get serious about maybe that side hustle idea, getting much more grounded about your home-based business, understanding exactly what you need to really reach high heights when it comes to what it is that you're doing. 4th house activation still says status matters, but it's more about the status and on the outside being able to feed what's happening within. So I want to feel more stable. I want to feel more comfortable, and my comfort is my priority, right? My being able to have the home I want, being able to live exactly how I desire, being able to afford exactly what it is that I want. These are where these beginning ideas are happening for you in the month of May. And any kind of obstacles that you previously felt, or fears that you previously had tied to what it is that you could do, start to melt away. You start to see how actually there can be a way out. Maybe I can get the home that I desire, and these are the ways in which I can do it. Or if you've been running into legal matters or issues tied to your home, leases, mortgages, visas, this is you being able to see a way out, being able to understand that through, I was going to say hard work and grit, but being able to feel the fear and do it anyway. Step out into courage. Allow yourself to go on an adventure. This could be, deciding to see that maybe your home is in a place that is further away than you expected. That being able to, let's say, stabilize in the way that you desire might require a little bit more, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So a little bit more groundwork that comes from you really stepping out as this pioneer, doing the thing that people didn't expect you to do, leaving that job and actually starting the business and being able to stand on a strong foot. Leaving where your family of origin, especially because we're talking about the 4th house, leaving your family of origin and going to a place that feels the most good for you, really stepping out on faith and doing it with a lot of strength, doing it with a lot of empowerment. And that's what I love about the month of May in general. These are the things that are awakening in your subconscious, and in your approaching your practical matters, even the things that scare you, from a space of much more courage. And with Uranus being in the stars, aligning with Pluto being in Aquarius, this Pluto in Aquarius is asking you to go back, right? You have to go back over the last 2 years with a fine-tooth comb. Remember Jupiter being in Gemini, with a fine-tooth comb, and see the mistakes that you have made when you didn't know your worth, Capricorn, when you didn't know your wealth, right? Your self-wealth. your relationship to your wealth. What money mistakes did you make over the past 2 years? What business mistakes did you make? What jobs did you take? What mistakes did you make when it came to your home? How did you did you not sign the contract the right way? Did you end up moving to the wrong place? Did you miss the fine print? Did you not solidify your documentation? All of the ways in which you stepped out in terms of what it is that you knew you deserved, right? But this Pluto transit is asking you to revisit those details, revisit the past, and rework how you are doing things tied to your new sense of stability. It's asking you to really, again, because we're in the 9 year as well, it's like, look at the mistakes that you made or the decisions that you made from an old space of insecurity, from an old space of scarcity, and do them differently, step out differently this time. And that's the energy that is moving through you through the month of May. That's what this Pluto transit is asking you to do. Do it differently. Right? And when you're doing it differently, you're doing it from your newfound space of more confidence, of more self-wealth, more self-worth. Or would you really sign that contract now that you know who you are? Or would you really purchase that home now that you know that you deserve more? Or if you were someone who was so focused on status, right, because we're leaving the Capricorn Pluto, where you still roped into the ideas of status being material, so you locked yourself into something that has kept you stuck, or something you could not afford, or something that has kept you bounded, decisions that you made when you were insecure. And that is the thing that is coming back in order for you to revisit, really dig into the details, know exactly what it is that you're doing, and see luck expand you in that way, especially when we're looking around the 18th after the full moon in Scorpio, because that full moon in Scorpio is asking you to look at your relationships, right? Your networks. Who are you working with, and how is it that you chose the wrong people because of your lack of self-worth, self-wealth? Feelings of insecurity, feelings of inadequacy, feelings of scarcity, old wounds tied to your childhood, family of origin, especially scarcity mindset. I keep mentioning it because this is a big time to heal scarcity mindset, right? Your relationship to scarcity. For some of you, it could be financial, and for others of you, it's scarcity of just deserving. So it may hit your finances, but it could just be what it is that you think you have to do to define yourself, to prove yourself, or you got yourself into a bind because you didn't know that you could do things better. Or again, you are so insecure or so misaligned in your perception of self that you were making decisions in a scarce way. And this could be derived from generational karma. It could be derived from things that your parents told you, things that are normal in your society, or where it is that you found yourself growing up, and you're having to break through and pioneer beyond those things. You're reworking your relationship with your internal body tied to your career and finances. And I love the way this energy is progressing, and that full moon in Scorpio is asking you to change the way you are relating to the people that are in your networks. For those of you who are on social media, you're finalizing, let's say, a projection that you put out for yourself during Scorpio season of last year. So you could have been finding yourself refining your social image, right? How your quality of your content was, how you showed up in terms of your content, having a projection, a plan for your social media presence, because it's the 11th house with Scorpio, a projection or a plan for your social media presence. And you're finally seeing that those fruits of your labor have actually been born now in Taurus season. Those seeds have actually bore fruit, right? And so you can say, okay, I did it. That's one of the stamps for this month. There's something that you projected out during that time about social renewal, social healing, that you can look back and you can say, I'm done with this. I'm done with this new marketing plan. I'm done with the way in which I wanted to have a better work environment, networking environment around me. Where again, I'm done working with people that no longer serve me. If you were working with people that weren't helping you, people that weren't helping you, let's say, heal an issue tied to, again, the Pluto in Aquarius. So if you tried to work with people to get to the other side of something or find a way out of something, but you kept working with people that were not giving you the answers that you needed, it's finally ending that. It's saying, you know what, I'm done speaking to this person in specific or this group of people, because really they're holding me back and really they're not helping me progress forward. Remember, this is not literal. Anything that happens on the outside is reflective on the inside. And if you have been having issues with your networks, that is because that issue was reflective of what's going on inside of you, where there is resistance, and the resistance is because of lack of self-worth, self-wealth. When you do not know your value, you're attracting people that cannot help you because you inside are saying that you don't deserve to be helped. So it's ending that cycle and being able to say, you know what, I deserve people that actually can help me evolve, that help me grow, that can help me get what it is that I desire. This stable business, this stable relationship with my career, being able to have the home that I desire, being able to afford what it is that I want in my home environment, and feeling as stable as possible. When we look at the 18th in specific, we see a lot of things transitioning, or when we look at the 18th in specific, we see a lot of things going on with Jupiter, its relationship to Chiron in the North Node. So what I love about this is there's a lot of progress for the second half of May, but it's the kind of progress that heals the wound of your stability. So again, where you feel you do not belong. So things with leases, things with documentation around your home. There's a really great progressive movement forward when it comes to this, especially when it comes to things like contracts or the little details. So there's a lot of nice, expansive luck here, which is nice. And remember the Uranus transit that started the month of May, surprising you. It's the kind of luck that surprises you, something that pushes you forward, but it's something that brings about an awareness that you, let's say you have to put in work to be able to achieve your outcome or achieve your goal, but you're getting good news, which is very nice. This is all around, again, practical matters, especially legal matters as well. And then from there, we have Saturn entering Aries, which is what the drum roll of this month has been doing for you. It's been turning you into Aries. It's been taking you out of being a Pisces, and now you are feeling that Aries energy. No longer focus so much on how you communicate, because you've learned now that the way in which you need to communicate is like this. That Cancer Mars energy that happened for pretty much since the beginning of the year, that stayed for so long, was something that was teaching you, Capricorn, how to be more nurturing to your own masculine and align that, right, with your ability to communicate yourself better. This is also the 9-year. So these are old themes that have been playing out for you. The way in which you don't communicate your truth, being someone who took on too much pressure and didn't know how to say whatever it is that you actually needed, or was incapable of articulating what it is that you needed properly. Not being able to communicate yourself properly. Ending cycles tied to power struggles. Again, this fourth house energy, ending cycles tied to not feeling like you belonged where it is that you were, or something being wrong when it came to your stability, being able to generate enough income for yourself to afford what your version of stability would look like. These are things that are ending for you because we're in the 9-year, and a lot of it is rooted in childhood. It's rooted in generation. And so as you're healing these things in your practical life, you're healing these things on the internal generational perspective, which is very, very good, Capricorn. So yeah, so in terms of the bare bone practical matters, we see a lot of lucky breaks happening for you this month in terms of May, and you having to take on a more masculine energy, take on a stronger energy when it comes to courageously moving forward with things that can intimidate you, things that make you feel fundamentally, internally intimidated. And this is you being able to stand in front of it and say, okay, I am here. I am feeling this. I'm breathing through this, and I'm going to do this because I understand my worth now more than I did previously. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Capricorn, and we're going to get into the reading now.
Okay, Capricorn, so here we are with your career reading for the month of May. And here we see pretty, I don't know, I guess straightforwardly with the King of Wands here, but we also see the Ten of Wands. So we see a lot of fire on this board. We've got fire, fire, fire here. And also fire in terms of Cain here. Assay of Cain. So fire. And the way in which fire is showing itself as not only what it is that's going on, but also a way out. Like, it's interesting because we've been talking so much about Aries activation and things like that, and you getting this fire energy, and here we are looking at fire. But, obviously we don't see the vibrant, I mean, the King of Wands is quite vibrant, but some would say the Queen of Wands is a little bit more vibrant. We still see this interesting fire energy, let's say that. We've got the Ten of Wands, so we're looking at you being able to carry something over to the other side. Usually the Ten of Wands makes me a little bit nervous at times, but the Ten of Wands sitting here with the King of Wands lets me know that you're powering through, okay? This wands activation, the way in which you're carrying this energy forward, says that yes, you are carrying burdens, yes, you are trying to see through something, but you're seeing through it in a way where you're standing on business, Capricorn. You're feeling confident. It's all about your confidence. It's all about your self-belief. It's all about you being able to push through, power through. But we see her heartbroken, which is deeply sad, mourning loss, being strategic, not showing your hand, and this conversation tied to contracts. So there seems to be a lot of things going on when it comes to karmic contracts for the month of May. Things that you could feel connected to, tied to, again, karmically bounded to when it comes to what's going on with you. You are going through some kind of pain, grieving, loss, or sadness, and are trying to, again, navigate it strategically. So you can lose something this month, or you can feel like you've lost something. You can feel like you're in a bad situation that you have to grieve over, but you're trying to, again, move strategically through whatever you feel contractually bound to. Again, when we're looking at the soul contract narrative, like kind of like what we mentioned in the astrology, whatever it is that you're dealing with this month is something that is karmic. It's a situation that has been continuous from your past. And we also see the past here in terms of the Six of Cups. So in your shadow, we see Assay of Canes and we see the Six of Calabash in reverse. So Assay of Canes in reverse lets me know that, again, you're afraid of not being able to passionately get what it is that you desire, being able to start fresh, being able to have birth through fire, start anew. And then the Six of Cups is like not being able to pioneer again through this soul contract, pioneer through the past, the way in which the past will work against you. You are having to be very strategic. But again, I'm loving this confidence. I'm loving the way in which you're feeling confident, which you're feeling powerful. With your advice, we've got legacy of light. So again, it's like it's understanding that you are deserving of getting what it is that you want. But we see after the storm, sitting here with heartbroken, you're sad about something, you lose something. But after the storm says, okay, well, now what? Your advice is to say, now what? What will I do now? Now that I've realized I have gone through loss, now that I feel this sadness, what am I going to do now? Legacy of light lets me know to feel lighter, feel less guilty, feel less ashamed about the state of things right now. Understanding that you're deserving to get out on the other side in a way that is more pioneering and or sweet in terms of your outcome. But again, like I said, I'm loving this King of Wands energy because this King of Wands tends to be the thing, or seems to be the thing that's backing you up. It's the thing that is making it so that despite everything, you are able to push through because you believe you are able to push through. You're able to push through your emotions, whatever feelings of sadness or loss that you could be going through. This is where the driving force behind your taking a risk, taking chances, kind of pushing through, powering through. And again, aligning with the things that can, because when we're looking at soul contracts and we're talking about things that are karmic, this soul contracts energy is also something positive, because again, there are different cards that come out in this deck that are indications of, let's say, negative karma, right? A soul contract is something good. Soulmates is something good. So it's like you're going through this sadness, this grief, right? But you're powering through and pushing through, being strategic, being, not giving up, playing your hand in order to get the desire that you want, in order to get the desired outcome that you want. In very simple terms, a lot of you could be trying to navigate terms and negotiate terms that work the most in your favor here to get through this, to believe in yourself to get through this, probably because you enter the month in terms of an awareness of what it is that hurts, what it is that, that did not serve, or again, finding out that you can't get exactly what it is that you want, but again, going into a space of your own legacy after the storm. You've experienced this sadness, breakup, separation, and loss. What will you do with it? This legacy of light is sitting next to the beta of wolf spirit, which is all about following your intuition, knowing when to relax. And through relaxation, you'll be able to cultivate enough confidence to understand that you can push through. This is an earth energy, earth and fire energy. So you need to ground yourself in believing that you are deserving of good things, because you have a legacy of light. You have a positive influence. You have a positive, let's say, footprint or imprint on the world in terms of what it is that you're trying to do. Let's read it here. So, Beta Wolf Spirit, give yourself enough rest. Only then will you be able to ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. You will find a way through any tricky situation, and we see that you are dealing with a tricky situation intuitively and instinctively. As you tune into your instincts and trust your own timing. From times of change and uncertainty comes confidence, resilience, and love. Embrace transition. Okay, Capricorn, again, sorry about that. We've got cut off. So, back to what we were finding here. So, beta of Spirit Wolf, we've got give yourself enough rest. Only then will you be able to ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. You will find your way through any tricky situation as you tune into your instincts and trust your own timing. From times of change and uncertainty comes confidence, love, and resilience. Embrace transition, commit to your tasks, and stay focused, but be flexible in your approach. You have the skill to intuitively handle any issue. Yeah, Capricorn, it's like you have to power through this month. You are standing on business. You are, there's a lot tied to what does it mean to be a business person. This is not Pentacles energy. This is not King of Pentacles energy. You're not, the king of wands. It's not to say the king of wands is unstable, but the king of wands is in action. He's in movement. He's not just sitting on a stack of pentacles, right? He's making things happen. So for you this month, that seems like what it is that has to happen. You are making things happen in order to push things through. And yeah, I would say the most uncomfortable thing here is this grieving, loss, mourning kind of energy, but it's backed up by being able to get some kind of a soul contract, being able to get in alignment, to be able to get in on the right side of karma in that way through strategy. And you ground yourself in understanding intuition and your instincts, understanding that again, if you feel like you are undeserving, if you feel like you cannot get the return on investment that you desire, it's really important to understand your legacy of light. Understand that you're deserving of, let's say, this grant or this outcome that you desire, because what it is that you're putting out into the world has value. Who it is that you have been up until this point has value. If you need to prove that you are a person of integrity, or morality, your legacy backs you up. Okay, your truth backs you up, and use your truth. Your use your social proof in order to speak to what outcome that you deserve, in order to speak to getting the results that you deserve. Believing, a reason to believe in yourself. Next to that, we have fire, right? So we ground ourselves in understanding, again, the value of what we've done up until this point and who it is that we are, and that we have these instincts in order to do so. And then we go into Tantra. Be open to that which feels unfamiliar or different. You'll experience a breakthrough as you embrace an unusual approach. You are on a soul path of accelerated spiritual growth, which is swifter but not always easier. You do not have to contrive your own happiness, but you can dip into the bliss within your body to lighten your mental state and remind yourself that everything is working out beautifully after the storm, right? That is sitting next to after the storm. Take an unusual approach, take a different approach, understand this is more fire energy, understand everything is working out beautifully. When we see that with the King of Wands energy, like I say all the time, the King of Wands is the delusional businessman, the businessman who's one heck of a risk taker, the one that is going to kind of vibrantly do as he feels. He believes in what it is that he desires working out. Like I said, there's a lot of momentum for you this month. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of passionate movement. When we look at the bottom of the advice text, we got the perfection of your life. So again, it goes back into this space of like you deserving an outcome that you want, right? You want to have this stability, Capricorn. You want to have this, again, the perfection of your life. What is it you've been investing in? What is it you've been working? And that's the overarching energy of the advice. After the storm, whatever it is that you are grieving here, whatever it is that you are feeling heartbroken here, whatever loss that you feel like you have here, okay, there's after the storm. At the bottom of the healing deck, we've got Shakabet of Seahorse, and this is all about understanding your own vulnerability, all right? And underneath that, we had the Queen of Maeve. So this is you needing to focus on your relationships, needing to focus on who it is that you feel the most vulnerable with, and where you are honest about your vulnerabilities. That's where you're going to see progress. So this month can have you working with other people, and that is a part of the strategy that it is that you're showing. You guys are doing a lot where you're speaking to people, working with people, moving and shaking in order to get what it is that you want. Those vulnerabilities are going to help you figure out who it is that can who is it that you can trust on this journey to getting what it is that you want. You guys are usually people of independence, and in this case, that you have to take a different approach when it comes to independence, which is relying on other people. Here we've got sadness, missing you, and most importantly, uncertainty of the future. So it seems like your sadness is rooted in the fact this heartbroken energy is ruined. I was going to say rooted. Let's keep both in the fact that you are unsure about the future. You're unsure about what is going to happen. And that sadness is a part of what is fueling you, that fear. At the bottom of the tarot deck here, we've got the Emperor. Okay? So that lets me know very clearly that the overarching energy of what it is that is panning out is more fire, right? We see this Emperor energy backed up here by the King of Wands and the Ten of Wands. It's like you're standing on, you're standing on business, Capricorn. You're in control. You are the boss here when it comes to this month. Full on, and again, Saturn's transitioning into Aries, and all we see is Aries energy, right? The Ten of Wands, Aries energy. Well, not directly Aries energy, but fire energy, which is Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. And we've got the Ten of Wands, Aries. We've got the King of Wands, Aries. And we've got the Emperor, the one and only Aries card, right? So there's a lot going on with you understanding and embracing Aries energy and standing on business, feeling really powerful, having to get in control of your life. You have to get in control of your life. Capricorn. That is what's going, well, it's not even that you have to, that's what's going on. Okay, so the overarching energy of what's going on for this month is you being in control, taking control, and all of the processes that are going on where it's like inside you're going through this sadness and this feeling of loss, and playing your strategies in order to get found, in order to align with the outcome that you desire. Standing on business as Aries, this loss is the burden that you carry, and everything else sits with the King of Wands, which is in terms of uh, lovely and delusional self-belief. And as you're doing all of this, you are aligning with the desires that you want, trusting in your intuitive outcome, believing that you can take a different approach, understanding who works well with you. And at the bottom of the shadow deck, we've got your fear that you cannot move forward. So what is it you need to be thinking, feeling, doing, being? Lots of action. This feels like a lot of action energy. Lots and lots of action. Thinking, feeling, doing, being. Oh, we also saw a nice two of cups happen at the end of the deck there. Thinking, feeling, doing, being. Wow, okay. All right, so here we have we have knights. We have knights, we have soldiers, a lot of 1, 2, 3. You know what's so interesting about this Capricorn is the way in which all of them are hooded, mysterious, masked characters. So it lets me, none of them are looking into us, right? Lots of moon energy circles behind them. So that lets me know that, this month for you guys is very quite introspective in a way. Like, yes, we see that, we have that Two of Cups. So and that goes along with the soulmates energy, right? It's like you need to align with what you truly desire. That's the overarching energy. Align with what you truly desire this month. Okay, really focus in on what it is that you're missing, and practice the desire to align with what it is that you really want. So we see that happening, but it's happening in a way where there's a lot of like head down, dare I say, hustle energy, in a way where it's more like very focused, like a focused in kind of energy. What is it you need to be thinking is the Nine of Pentacles. So what I like about that is the Nine of Pentacles it's a Virgo energy, okay? But it's also like stability, independent stability, unshakable stability, stability that is not dependent on anything or anyone outside of you. So your mind needs to be focused on what individual stability looks like and feels like for you. So this is your where your pentacles are not aligned with another person, where your stability is not again in the hands of anyone else. Your mind needs to be focused on what independent, not codependent. Okay, meaning you're not dependent on uh, dependency can also look like loans. It can also look like restrictions, being trapped by someone's rules and regulations. Your mind needs to be focused on where you can find the most independence, where you can find the most stable, independent outcome. Okay? It's like signing a lease with just your name on it versus signing it with someone else. You know, it is moving out of a space that maybe you're moving out of your partner's home or your even your parents' home or something like that, right? It's like, where is my independent stability? How can I make enough pentacles to feel really independently stable, right? And so this goes along with what it is that you need to be feeling, which is the Knight of Pentacles, which is interesting because you need to be focused on your feelings need to be in a space where you're taking slow, calculated movements forward. So your feelings are more like, okay, I need to be very deliberate. I need to be slow moving. What's interesting is because we saw this heartbroken energy when it came to a part of what's going on this month, but it's letting you know to be on top of what it is that you feel. So we don't see a focus on pain here or even needing to rise above pain. It's just a matter of slowing down what it is that you feel. So I think it's like being on top of what it is that you feel by slowing down what it is that you feel, being very deliberate. Lots of slow breathing this month, right? Allow these emotions to move slowly. Put yourself in a position where you're not uh, feeling super crazy, right? About, let's say, allowing yourself to feel very uprooted or emotionally uncomfortable. It's slow, deliberate, uh, calculated emotions, needing to be in a space where you are more controlled. And so if you are facing things that can be difficult, or, because we're seeing here you're carrying things through, or overwhelming, right? It's controlling the way in which you are navigating. So being very calculated, being very, uh, it's not necessarily stoicism, because it's not the King of Swords here. And it's not basic calculation because there are no swords. It's more like in a sense of controlling what it is that you feel, being very deliberate and slow moving with what it is that you feel. This coming along here with what it is you need to be doing with the Knight of Wands. Your actions are fast. Your actions are passionate. Again, more Wands energy. We see this lots of Wands, lots of Aries energy. So you need to put a pep in your step. You need to move, Capricorn. You need to be on fire, Capricorn, in terms of what it is that you do. But as you are on fire, inside you are controlled. Inside you know what it is that you're doing, right? You're calm inside, being very deliberate internally as you're taking all these action steps and moving all these things forward. Next to that, we've got who it is that you need to be. You need to be the Ace of Swords. Be a person who, let's say, is wielding the sword of clarity, not being someone that is naive, being someone that is dealing with mental fog or confusion, but being a person that is being very clear, very concise, very communicative, very honest as well, very straightforward, looking for the truest and most authentic outcome. You're not running, you're not hiding from what the truth is. And you're also not beating around the bush or being manipulative in your approach, being very clear and concise, very intelligent and straightforward. Also being a person that has your own knowledge and is able to offer your own knowledge to various situations. There we go. That's what we need to know here. Okay, the threshold. The threshold who is aware of your directions. Okay, Capricorn. So I'm going to read threshold for you. At the threshold you stand, before you lies a way of being that is beyond fear. It is a sacred passing through a karmic veil into a new life of empowerment, peace, spiritual service to humanity, and joy in your own soul. Well, that's straightforward. A pathway that activates and is navigating beyond fear, Capricorn. The King of Wands fears very little, if not nothing at all. He is not the lion looking for his courage, he has it. The Emperor is a strong, stand on business, powerful energy. You are moving through this month, okay? So I know we see heartbroken here, but I don't think this carries so much heaviness. I think it's more like, again, it's probably what it is that you're understanding. It's like what it is that hurts you as you move through what it is that you desire. And that's the thing that you're pushing through, you're powering through. Lots of wands energy, like we said. As you stand at the threshold before you now, it is beyond fear. Your new life is beyond fear. And I think a lot of you for this month are obviously pushing through, empowering through fear, grief, loss, heartbreak. It's important not to deviate from your path. Attract a mentor if necessary. Plan where you want to be. That definitely aligns very well here with the Ace of Swords in terms of who you are, right? Who you are meant to be this month. Plan where you want to be. Your actions might be the Knight of Wands, but your emotions are under control with the Knight of Pentacles. Your mind is focused on as much stability, independent stability as possible, where you, your body, who you are, is somebody who is very clear, deliberate, concise, right? Plan where you want to be. Ace of Swords. Plan where you want to be. Knight of Pentacles, being in control of the emotions. Plan where you want to be and put the action steps behind it. Use the Knight of Wands as the reason to pioneer beyond fear. Do not deviate from your plan. Be very deliberate and strategic in your approach. You can do this, Capricorn. You can power through and push past and expand, Capricorn. Okay? So I love you so very, very much. Ciao.